listened to what you were saying about how we know God's existence.
Yeah.
So, like, we don't have proof for God. The truth is that as Muslims, like, we have different opinions about this. But the orthodox opinion is that God is known through his acts of creation, which are self-evident. And this is the position of all people before us. And this is the position that is acceptable to reason and through...
but it's not acceptable to reason because the existence and origin of the universe doesn't require any supernatural...
Yes, but please, yeah, I know, but listen closely, please. It's not creation ex nihilo. There is no evidence for creation ex nihilo.
I didn't say there was.
Created out of nothing.
I didn't say there was. I said that from what we know about the origins of the universe, there's no justification for positing a supernatural being.
Yes, because the universe, well, we believe the universe was created out of a pre-existent thing. You know. And
I don't believe the universe was created.
Okay. Yes. Tayyib. I say creation is self-evidence. Why is that? Because things change. You see, change is total change is.
But change requires time.
Yes, time.
And from what we understand, that there was no time prior to the origin of the universe.
That does not make sense. I swear to God, that does not make sense.
Well, you can swear to whatever you want, but the physics...
Because causality can never be broken. Why is that? Because every event...
No. Your only reason for thinking causality can't be broken is because you can only observe causality within the temporal scope that we are currently inhabiting. Muhammad, you have no justification for talking about causality outside of the bounds of the temporal realm we inhabit.
Well, listen, as Ibn Taymiyyah says, he says that space and time, and this I believe is a very rational position, and anyone else who says that space and time are entities, you know, which are eternal or have beginning, that is nonsense. What exists is the tangible things within what we perceive to be space and time.
Space and time are components of our local universe presentation. You have no way
to believe that specific objects exist, particular objects, particular tangible things exist.
Space and time are the framework of our local universe. You cannot...
Space, yes. Space, when you say space, I accept space in the sense that, you know, place, which refers to an existent thing. For example, you say the Earth is my... No. That's not what is meant by space. Mathematics.
That's not what is meant by space.
I know what the philosophers and the physicists mean by space, and I did study what they said, but it doesn't make sense because space.
Okay, I want to make sure I understand you. Did you just say that you were going to disregard what philosophers and physicists say about space and go with your preference?
They don't accept this position, actually.
I'm trying to understand this, Muhammad. Did you just say that you're going to toss out what philosophers and physicists have to say about space because it doesn't make sense?
I believe that things move. I believe that there are tangible things moving and that we can locate them in so-called space. But that space does not exist outside the mind. It is only a mental construct. What exists are tangible things within what we call space.
No, because by that reasoning, you and I are now physical things within a construct of a mind.
Well, Matt, please, I'm trying to explain to you this. You know, you're speaking about what evidence we have for God. Well, what evidence do you have for the space? There is no evidence for it.
No. There is evidence for the space. We can explore the boundaries of it. We know that it's how many billions of light years across is our local presentation of the universe.
I understand, but these are distances. These are only distances. There are relationships, spatial relationships between objects.
Yes.
There is no entity.
And all of that applies within the bounds of our local universe. You're talking about something outside the bounds of our universe.
No, I don't speak. I believe that God is like you can see God. You will see God. He is rationally observable.
Muhammad, is God bound within the boundaries of our local universe's space-time? Is God within that only?
Did we lose him? I think we lost him.
If so, then he can't be the creator, because the creator would have to be outside of that local bounds.
Yeah.
But that's all I was trying to get to. Was, so here's the thing. Muhammad could be completely correct, for all I know, that there is some God who created the universe that we're in. The problem is there's no way to actually demonstrate that, because all we can investigate and explore is the universe we experience. And what we can tell, and by the way, Stephen Hawking recently died, who famously pointed out that talking about time before a Big Bang may in fact be nonsense. That all of the math, because what happens is the math breaks down, and it appears that time as we understand in our universe began when the universe began, that there was no time before time. Now there may be, hypothetically, some second layer of, let's call it meta-time, or a multiverse, or a metaverse, or a meta space, whatever. And our universe cropped up within that. That scenario, even if it occurred, is still this position where we are in here and we have no way to see what's outside of here, investigate it or whatever else. Even if something were to come from the outside and reach in, the only part that we could assess is what's actually within our bounds. And so what's happened forever, and I noticed that he'd kind of made an allusion to the Kalam in the notes. Yeah. And the Kalam cosmological argument begins with premise one, which is everything that begins to exist has a cause for its existence. Now, I don't know that that's true. I don't know that it isn't possible for something to begin to exist without a cause, because what that first premise should actually say is everything that has an identifiable beginning within the boundaries of our local presentation of space-time has a cause for its existence. Because that's all we can say. You can't say what some meta-time would be like, or what a metaspace would be like, or what the rules are in the metaphysics of that. Oh, metaphysics, damn, it all fell apart right there. In that super universe, the metaverse, multiverse, whatever you want to use. And yet, here we have someone who believes and thinks that they believe for good reasons. And they want to dismiss and yet not dismiss what philosophers and physicists have said about the universe. And then say that it's because they don't want to accept this paradigm that he's presenting. And that's because they understand that the paradigm that he's presenting is something that is an unfalsifiable, untestable proposition. And we're right back to where we were at the beginning of the show, with someone claiming to detect the undetectable. And it's not the fault of science or atheists or reason that you believe something that isn't detectable or falsifiable. If there were a God who could make a manifestation in reality, who could present themselves or call on the show, that would fundamentally change things. Why haven't they done that? Why would a God plop us all down here, let us learn and discover the rules to the universe that we experience, and then the most important issue, his own existence, keep that hidden. Make it in such a way that you couldn't test for it, you can't prove it, you can't investigate it. How absurd, how immoral is that to say, I'm going to have kids and I'm going to lock them in the basement, I'm never actually going to interact with them. But if they don't figure out exactly who I am and what I want and love me and serve me, I'm going to flood the basement and drown them. That's bizarre. And yet, for some reason, there's some people who think that that's not only the way things are, but that that's a good thing.
Yeah.